In a close-knit neighborhood, three friends, David, Emily, and Mike, were inseparable. They had grown up together, their bonds forged through countless adventures, secrets shared under moonlit skies, and a sense of brotherhood that made them feel like brothers and sisters. Their latest escapade, however, would lead them down a path none of them could have ever imagined. One sunny summer afternoon, the trio decided to try their hand at archery, inspired by a new bow and arrow set David had received as a birthday gift. The lush woods that bordered their neighborhood seemed like the perfect backdrop for their adventure, and they were brimming with excitement. None of them had ever used a bow before, but their youthful enthusiasm overshadowed any concerns about safety. They ventured into the woods, deep enough to be hidden from prying eyes, but close enough to feel the warmth of their homes. Emily took her first place, knocking an arrow and pulling back the string with anticipation. Mike and David watched eagerly, encouraging her and giving her stupid advice. As Emily released the arrow, it soared through the air, missing the makeshift target they had set up and disappearing into the dense underbrush. They laughed, their carefree attitudes fueling their reckless actions. They retrieved the arrow and took turns trying to hit the target, each attempt wilder and less controlled than the last. In their overconfidence, they forgot the first rule of archery: safety. They had ignored the warnings in the instruction manual, believing that they were invincible. That was until tragedy struck. David, taking his turn at the bow, pulled the string back with a force he didn't fully comprehend. The arrow left the bow with a terrifying velocity, veering off course and striking a man who had been walking his dog nearby. The man let out a gut-wrenching cry as the arrow pierced his side. Shock and pain contorted his face as he fell to the ground, gasping for breath. Time stood still as the realization of what they had done washed over David, Emily, and Mike. Panic surged through their veins as they stared in horror at the injured man and the weapon that had caused it all. Their joyful adventure had turned into a nightmare within seconds. Without thinking, they rushed to the injured man's side, desperately trying to stem the bleeding with trembling hands. Tears streamed down their faces as they begged for forgiveness, promising to call for help. The man, in immense pain, clung to consciousness, barely able to comprehend what had happened. Fear of the police and the consequences of their actions raced through their minds. They knew that they should have never ventured into the woods without proper supervision, let alone without training. Now, their reckless decision had led to a life-altering tragedy. Summoning the courage to face the authorities, they called 911 and waited in agonizing anticipation for the help to arrive. When the ambulance and police finally reached the scene, the three friends were huddled together, sobbing and trembling, grappling with the realization that their thoughtless actions had forever changed their lives and the life of a man who had been an innocent bystander to their recklessness. The police conducted a thorough investigation, and it was determined that the incident had been a result of negligence and recklessness. David, Emily, and Mike were charged with involuntary manslaughter and reckless endangerment. They stood trial, their remorseful faces a stark contrast to the serious courtroom atmosphere. After a lengthy legal process, they were found guilty and sentenced to several years in prison. The weight of their actions, the loss of their freedom, and the knowledge that they had taken an innocent life would hang over them for the rest of their days, serving as a somber reminder of the tragic consequences of their ill-fated decision to pursue archery without the proper guidance and supervision.
The end. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more videos.